From the midpoint of World War II, the widespread emergence of heavy German tanks such as the Panther and the Tiger posed a significant challenge to Allied armed forces. With thick armor and powerful firepower, these tanks easily outmatched American anti-tank vehicles, particularly the M10 Wolverine, equipped with a 76mm gun. In many engagements, the M10 struggled to penetrate the frontal armor of Panthers and Tigers at range, forcing US units to attack from the flanks or really on superior numbers, often resulting in heavy losses. Faced with this reality, as early as September 1942, the US Army Ordnance Department identified the urgent need for a more powerful gun, specifically a 90mm cannon. The M36 Jackson emerged as a rapid response solution, not part of a long-term plan, but a direct reaction to German armed superiority. This development explained the arms race nature of World War II, where one side technological advances immediately compelled countermeasures from the opponent. To accelerate deployment, the US leveraged the existing M10 chassis based on the reliable M4 Sherman tank platform, since the M10's weakness lay in firepower rather than durability or mobility. Mounting a new turret with a 90mm gun was considered the optimal choice. Thanks to this flexible approach, the M36 quickly entered service and became one of the most effective American tank destroyers in the late war period. The M36 Jackson tank destroyer was equipped with a primary M3 90mm gun, developed from high-velocity US anti-craft cannon to enhance armor penetration against heavy German tanks. The vehicle carried a total of 47 rounds, with 11 stored in a ready-use rack behind the turret to speed up reloading during combat. The M36 could fire a variety of ammunition types, including APT, M77, T33, APC HET, M82, HE, M71, and notably HVAPT M304, with tungsten cores enabling effective armor penetration at long ranges. In terms of firepower, the M3 gun was considered comparable to the 8.8cm L56 gun on the Tiger I, and when using HVAP rounds, could compete with the 8.8cm L71 mount on the Tiger II and Jacked Panther. Secondary armament included a Browning M2HB 12.7mm anti-aircraft machine gun with 1,000 rounds ready. The M36B1 variant was the only version equipped with an additional coaxial M1919A4 7.62mm machine gun mounted on the hull, improving close defense capabilities. Armor protection retained the welded, sloped armor structure inherited from the M10A1 or M10, with thickness ranging from 9mm to 108mm at the front. Side and rear armor were thinner, between 19 to 25mm. The turret was a new, cast design with a thick sloped front plate up to 76mm thick. Notably, the turret lacked a roof to reduce weight and enhance visibility, leaving the crew vulnerable to shrapnel, grenades, and attacks from above. Many vehicles later received additional folding roof armor plates, especially the M36B2 variant. Regarding the engine and mobility, the standard M36 and M36B1 were powered by a 4GAA VH gasoline engine, producing between 450 and 500 horsepower, yielding a power-to-weight ratio of around 15 horsepower per ton. The M36B2 variant used a General Motors 6046 diesel engine, rated at 375 horsepower. The vehicle's top speed ranged from 40 to 48 kilometers per hour, depending on the variant, while the standard operational range was approximately 240 kilometers with a 727-liter fuel tank. The M36B1 had a shorter range of about 160 kilometers. The transmission was a synchromesh system with 5 forward gears and 1 reverse, paired with Verical Volute Spring Suspension (VVSS), similar to the Sherman tank, which facilitated maintenance. The M36 measured approximately 7.46 meters in total length, including the gun, with a hull length of 5.97 meters, a width of 3.05 meters, and an average height ranging from 3.05 to 3.28 meters, depending on configuration. Combat weight varied from 29 tons for the standard M36 to 31 tons for the M36B1, allowing the vehicle to maintain good mobility while carrying a larger caliber gun. This placed the M36 in the medium tank destroyer class, significantly lighter than the main targets like the Tiger or the Panther tanks. The vehicle was operated by the 5-person crew, commander, gunner, and loader positioned inside the turret, driver and assistant. Driver, radio operator, located in the front hull. In the M36B1 variant, the assistant driver also operated the hull-mounted machine gun. The interior design was simple yet practical, optimizing reaction speed and combat effectiveness in field conditions. The emergence of the M36 Jackson tank destroyer was the result of an urgent research process aimed at meeting the critical demands of the European battlefield during World War II. While the M10 Wolverine, with its 76.2mm gun, had served as the mainstay of US tank destroyer battalions, by 1943, this weapon began to show clear limitations against new German heavy tanks like the Panther and Tiger I. The M10's ammunition often failed to penetrate the enemy's frontal armor, unless fired at close range from the side, severely restricting its direct engagement capability. In response, the U.S. Army identified as early as September 1942 the need for a 90mm gun capable of effectively destroying modern armed targets. However, the first prototype, designated T-71, was not completed until March 1943, and mass production only began in mid-1944. This nearly 2-year delay reflected the numerous challenges in wartime weapon development, from technical design and testing to industrial resource allocation. The T-71 was developed by mounting a new turret equipped with a 90mm M3 gun onto the M10A1 chassis, which used the Ford GAA engine from the M4A3 Sherman tank. Despite the larger turret and heavier gun, the T-71 remained lightweight and highly mobile tanks, so its open-top design and optimized structure. Positive test results led to the prototype being standardized in June 1944 under the official designation 90mm gun motor carriage M36. The M36 Jackson was first deployed to the European front in September 1944, quickly replacing earlier generation tank destroyer tanks to its powerful 90mm gun. Units such as the 703rd Tank Destroyer Battalion of the US Army used the M36 to combat heavy German tanks like the Panther and Tiger, which had posed significant challenges to the earlier M10. During the Battle of the Ardennes, the M36 played a crucial role by destroying numerous German tanks, helping to weaken enemy armored forces. Its ability to penetrate thick armor from long distances, combined with high mobility, allowed effective ambush tactics. However, the open-top turret design and thin armor exposed the crew to considerable risk in combat. After World War II, the M36 continued to see action in the Korean War, primarily facing the T-34-85 tanks of the North Korean and Chinese armies. The 90mm gun remained capable of penetrating enemy armor, maintaining the M36's status as an effective tank destroyer. Nonetheless, with the introduction of more modern tanks like the M26 Pershing and M46 Patton, the M36 was gradually phased out of frontline service, though it left a lasting legacy in U.S. military history. The M36 Jackson was first introduced to the European front in September 1944, quickly replacing earlier tank destroyers with its powerful 90mm gun. Units such as the U.S. Army's 703rd Tank Destroyer Battalion used the M36 to counter heavy German tanks like the Panther and Tiger, which had posed significant challenges to the earlier M10. During the Battle of the Ardennes, the M36 played a crucial role by destroying numerous German tanks, helping to weaken enemy armed forces. Its ability to penetrate thick armor at long range, combined with high mobility, enabled effective ambush tactics. However, the open top turret design and thin armor exposed the crew to considerable risk in combat. After World War II, the M36 continued to serve in the Korean War, primarily facing the T-34, T-85 tanks of the North Korean and Chinese armies. The 90mm gun remained capable of penetrating enemy armor, maintaining the M36's status as an effective tank destroyer. Nevertheless, with the emergence of more modern tanks like the M26 Pershing and M46 Payton, the M36 was gradually phased out of frontline service, though it left a lasting legacy in U.S. military history.